Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yvonne Princess Shabango, and if you are new here, you're welcome to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And voila, you're part of the graceful, the beautiful, and the wonderful family where we pray together, we do stuff together, we're positive together, we hold each other's hand in every journey and facet of life. We're back with another Employment Wednesday episode, and today, what are we talking about? Take a guess. Tell me what you think we're talking about. Anyway, we're talking about questions that you can ask your interviewer. I prepared about 15 questions that I would like to share with you guys that you can ask your interviewer. And you know how it is, guys, at an interview. Sometimes you get there, they ask you a lot of questions, and then that's all. Like, you go home not knowing much about the company. You go home not sure whether you want to work for the company and stuff like that. So today I'm your girl, guys. Don't leave that interview room without asking specific questions, especially questions that will actually influence your decision to accept the offer at that particular company. So question number one would be to ask the interviewer this question: from your experience, what's the best thing about working here? So basically, you're able to tell what kind of company it is from there. Because if their interviewer can't tell you about their best moment or the best thing about working for that particular company, then why are you getting employed there? Because the person clearly also doesn't like their job. And then question number two, you can ask them, can you tell me about your company values and how they are put into practice? So here's another thing. We look at particularly when I decide to work for a company, or I know with my friends as well, we look at different kind of things, but the main thing we look at is the values of the company, and we look at the culture of the company. So if we're not familiar with the values or the culture of the company, or how to fit into the culture of the company, or how to apply the values, then it becomes difficult for us to even enjoy that particular job. So it's important you know the values of that particular company and see if they align with your own values, and see if you even be able to live up to those values. Because what would be the point working for a company that you can't live up to their values? And then question number three, and then you ask them, how do you evaluate and define success in this position? That's the position you're interviewing for. So let's say you're interviewing for being a candidate attorney, you're interviewing for being an associate, you're interviewing for being an accountant, a doctor, whatever that you're interviewing for. It's important to know what is success in that position. It is important to know elements that will get you promoted in that position. It is important to know what can make you a better person within that position. Because I know, for instance, my retention to becoming associate depends on my work ethic. It depends on my billing, the amount of money I bring into the company, and also my character as a person, my ability to learn and do better, but mostly the billing. It's important the amount of money I bring into the company, because the company can't keep a liability. And then you also ask the person, what professional development opportunities are available for this position? Then it goes back to also, how can you grow? How do you become a better person, right? So you ask yourself, from here as a candidate attorney, what can I be after here? Can I be an associate? Can I be director? How long is it going to take me to make director, and stuff like that? So you look at the developments in that particular position. And then you ask them as well, what are the main challenges for someone in this role? It's important that you know the difficulties that you're going to face, so that when those difficulties come, you handle them better. Because sometimes we don't ask this important question, and then when we're on the job, we realize actually this is a hard job and we don't know how to navigate it. We end up crashing because we're under pressure and we feel like we're not as smart and stuff like that. So if you're informed of challenges that you may experience, then at least you know that should this challenge come, it doesn't mean I'm less smart, it doesn't mean I'm not capable, it just means I need to learn something, or I need to learn how to navigate this whole thing, right? And then question number six, what's the structure of the team or the department that you work for? It's important that you know, like for instance, right now I'm in the commercial department. We've got two directors in the commercial department. We've got a senior associate, we've got an associate, and then we've got me, the candidate attorney. So it's important to know how and whom I report to, how things are done, and whom I ask for what and stuff like that. So it's also important for whatever position that you're interviewing for, important to know the structure, know who you're going to be working with, and who you report to, and who you ask for assistance from. And then number seven, what does the onboarding process look like for new employees in that particular a role that you are applying for, it's very important that you know this process, because half the time, if we're not able to settle in, or if we're not able to navigate ourselves around joining the company, it becomes hard keeping that job. It becomes hard staying in that job. So it's important that you know that, okay, what do they do? Do they have an induction process, or do you learn on the job? Do they have training process, training systems? What are their systems? What is expected of you, and stuff like that? Then you're much more better prepared for the role. And then number 8, you ask yourself, you ask not yourself, you ask the person, where do you see the company in the next 3 to 5 years? So it's important that you know, are you growing with this company? Is this a company that's going to grow? Is this a company that's going to give you the bag? Is this a company that's going to make you a better person? And also, if a person cannot answer how far this company is going, also it tells you something about themselves. Because they do ask us questions like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So if I can answer that, then I'm sure that particular person interviewing you can answer the same question about their company. And then number 9, you ask yourself, what is a typical career path for someone in this position? So you need to ask this person, like I know as a CA, you're likely to become director if you're fortunate. And at best, you're guaranteed of becoming an associate. And then also, you're also guaranteed of branching out into other corporate spaces or other corporate departments, as long as you're a person that's able to learn. And then number 10, you ask that person, what would you like to change in the company? In as much as they can tell you what they will offer you, the good things, but there should be something that they think they can change, because I think everything is subject to growth and development. If you reach a point where you can't develop anything, there's something wrong, because I think there's always a better way of doing something. And then number 11, can you describe a typical day for someone in this role at your company? This is an important one that we all neglect, guys. It's important that you know your typical day, because the next thing you are thinking it's a 9 to 5 kind of day, only to realize actually they're not working hours. Anytime they need you, you're supposed to be there, whether it's until 3 a.m. in the morning, whether it's until 6 a.m. in the morning. You know, it's a life story of lawyers. Usually they'll tell you that. Really, people say we do 9 to 5, but half the time we don't do 9 to 5. We do your 12 hours work, your 14 hours work, depending on the kind of work we have and the deadline we have. So it's important that you know what time you're supposed to be at work, what time you're expected to leave work, and when you're supposed to do overtimes. And then if you get paid for those overtimes. And then number 12, ask them, what are some of the challenges that the company is facing right now? It's important that you know the future of the company, because you can go into there only for you to find out that you're going into a company that's going to go under business rescue in the next 6 months. Okay, business rescue is better. Imagine going into a company that's going to get liquidated in the next year, or a company that's going to retrench you in the next 6 months. So it's important that you know their longevity, you know their plans, you know how well they're growing as a company. And if they can't answer that, which means they're also not familiar with their own enterprise. And then number 13, you ask them, what was the team's biggest achievement in the past year? They also ask us this question, so they need to be able to answer. You find that in most like law firms, they'll tell you that we're the best team in the company, or they'll tell you that we won an award for the company, or we made the most billings and stuff like that, right? And then number 14, you ask them, what are some of the interesting projects you've worked for in this company? It's important to know what the company is getting up to. It's important to know the kind of projects that the company gets into. So ask them that, and if they're not able to answer that, then you're in for a shock. And then number 15, ask them, can they provide any further details that would be helpful in making your decision? So any additional stuff that you need to know about the company. Maybe the company offers Jacob's coffee. For us coffee lovers, that's a bonus. I need to know I can have my coffee at the office. I need to know that I'll be able to boost my energy via coffee. Some people tell you they want assurance to know that they won't be able to work on weekends, or whatever the case may be, and stuff like that. They want to know the kind of people they'll be working with. So ask them to give you additional pointers to assist your decision. So yeah, and also, given that I gave you 15 questions, guys, don't go there and start a whole interview afresh after you've been being interviewed. So you can choose your top 3 or top 4 that you can ask them, the ones that you think will give you the best overview of the company, and then that will give you the best way to tackle your decision whether or not you accept the offer should they offer you. So I think, yeah, this is one of my favorite episodes. So don't forget to be light, don't forget to be kindness, do not forget to be love, and don't forget to pray for another person. Whatever you do, always remember God has your back, and always remember, be kind, be light, and be love. I love you all so much, and I'm praying for you. God bless you.